Now, before I start the video, I have one serious statement to make. When it comes to the iPhone 15 Pro versus the iPhone 15, they're much closer than you think. Now, ever since Apple has introduced the iPhone 15 lineup, a lot of us have been confused as to which iPhone you should get since the iPhone 15 has improved a lot. And in this video, I want to break down what each phone is good at based on various stages of use, so you guys can get an idea of which phone is right for you. Now, the iPhone 15 and iPhone 15 Pro are two phones that have a lot in common. Both have great hardware that is complemented with solid features. Both support the latest versions of iOS 17. Both have really good looking displays that are enhanced by the dynamic island, and both are really great in their respective categories. And looking at them by themselves, the iPhone 15 Pro has a 120Hz refresh rate, an A17 Pro chip, and a telephoto camera. And the iPhone 15 is basically the same phone. It does have a lower refresh rate, but other than that, it does give the 15 Pro a lot of competition. So even though both of these phones have had many things that were really good, they both had their downsides when it came to many different things. And today, we will be taking a look at what each has to offer, so it can help your decision on which one is actually worth it. So I will be comparing the iPhone 15 and 15 Pro based on 5 different categories, starting with display, software, battery, speakers, and last but not least, cameras. Now, the first thing that I wanted to look at when comparing the iPhone 15 and 15 Pro was the display. Now, the iPhone 15 and iPhone 15 Pro have a 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR display that are very comparable to each other as far as visual experience. The 15 Pro has a 120Hz refresh rate, while the 15 has a 60Hz refresh rate, which basically means that whenever you're scrolling through your phone, the 15 Pro will feel much smoother, which really improves the quality. And when it came to responsiveness, the 15 Pro and 15 were pretty much the same, but again, the refresh rate feels much better, so if you put them side by side, the 15 Pro will feel slightly better. But besides the refresh rate, both phones were able to respond very quickly whenever I scroll or press on something, and they both felt very premium. Now, when it came to the size of the displays, the Pro and 15 are exactly the same. You can get a really great viewing experience, both have a big battery, and both look really good. But one thing that I will say is that no matter which size you go for, Apple has extremely slim bezels, and you'll get the most out of the screen. The iPhone 15 has also added the dynamic island notch, which made the 15 and 15 Pro extremely similar, and I like that. And when it came to brightness, both the 15 and 15 Pro had really bright screens that were very easy to see, and both phones' auto brightness worked very well. Now, the final thing that I really liked about the 15 Pro and 15's display was the fact that they both had really great resolutions. Both phones had nice and vibrant colors. Both phones had sharp displays, and both phones gave me an overall great experience. So I would say that in terms of resolution when watching videos, it was pretty much tied. And to give you guys an idea of my experience with each phone, here's some examples of me playing games and watching videos.
Romo throws and completes for the touchdown, his second of the day. Romo throws and completes for the touchdown, his second of the day.
Now, the next thing that I wanted to look at when comparing the iPhone 15 Pro to the iPhone 15 was the software. Now, when it came to software, I would say that both the 15 and 15 Pro performed very well. They both did whatever I needed them to do very efficiently. And again, they pretty much gave me the exact same experience all across the board. Both phones were able to handle the software much smoother. The animations were better. I still would get minor lags here and there, but it was much less often than previous models. But besides that, on a day-to-day basis, they both performed very well. Now, when it comes to software running heavier apps, both phones held up really well. The 15 and 15 Pro were very smooth whenever the extra ventilation kicked in, and it felt easier using the controls of Asphalt 9. iOS 17 was even better on the 15 Pro since it had a 120Hz refresh rate, but even on the 15, everything ran smooth and I had no problem. Now, the next thing that I wanted to look at when comparing the iPhone 15 to the iPhone 15 Pro was the battery. Now, the battery on the iPhone 15 and 15 Pro were very identical. The 15 Pro will be able to last me all day with 6 to 7 hours of on-screen time, and my 15 will give me 5 to 6 hours as well. With the 15 Pro, I will end my days with about 15%, which was really good, and with the 15, the battery will be around the same, which was still really good, and I didn't really use power saving mode, so both were able to keep up very well. And then when it came to charging speeds, both the 15 and 15 Pro were exactly the same. The fast charging did okay. I usually would charge them overnight, but whenever I charge them during the day, after about 30 minutes, they would usually be around 70 to 80%. So overall, I would say that the battery on both phones were really good. And if you're someone looking to get the iPhone 15 or the iPhone 15 Pro, then both are extremely identical. Now, the next thing that I wanted to look at when comparing the iPhone 15 to the iPhone 15 Pro was the speakers. Now, when it came to bass, I would say that the 15 Pro speakers were definitely better. It made listening to songs much more enjoyable. The 15s were still pretty good, especially when compared to other phones in the market, but it didn't hit as hard. But besides that, the sound quality on both of them were really good. Music sounded really good, videos were very clear, and the speakers really enhanced my viewing experience because they were just that good. And to give you guys an idea of how both speakers sound, I'm going to play a video so that you guys can see how loud they are. Now, the last thing that I wanted to look at when comparing the iPhone 15 to the iPhone 15 Pro was the cameras. Now, the cameras on the iPhone 15 Pro and 15 were pretty much the same when it came to quality. Both the 15 and 15 Pro had a 48 megapixel main camera, backed by a 12 megapixel ultra wide and telephoto lens. And as we all know, both of these phones had the same exact camera, but I do want to show you guys some pictures because there might be little differences that you guys can tell. Like right here, when we look at my outside daytime photos, I would say that these are really great pictures that turned out very well. The skies are very color accurate and vibrant, and the trees and nature were very sharp. Just like other iPhones, my face was pretty color accurate, and the vibrancy of the outside pictures were pretty great. And now when we look at the inside daytime photos, I would say that these are really great. Like right here, you can see that there was no graininess no matter how dark it got. And my selfies are top notch when compared to other phones. The quality was much better, the sharpness was still great, and the colors were very accurate, which definitely redeemed the camera overall. And when it came to video quality, both phones were great in their respective categories. And to give you guys an example, here are some extra videos that I took. So here's the final question. Should you buy the iPhone 15 Pro or the iPhone 15? Well, in my honest opinion, I think that the iPhone 15 is the phone that most people should buy. And just like I said in my iPhone 15 Plus versus iPhone 15 Pro Max video, it's pretty much the same concept. The iPhone 15 is cheaper, it's the same size as the iPhone 15 Pro, and if I'm being honest, it will give you the exact same experience. So again, the 15 is actually worth it. So in my honest opinion, Apple has really closed the gap as far as competition. And like I always say, most people don't even use the telephoto camera on the iPhone 15 Pro. Most people don't care about a refresh rate, and most people don't care about the latest chip. So in my honest opinion, the iPhone 15 is the easy choice. And there it is, you guys. My comparison between the iPhone 15 and the iPhone 15 Pro. Now let me know down in the comments, which phone would you choose and why? And again, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace.